So the basic aim is to provide the students with the knowledge on client server network, data, encryption and decryption, security. Okay. So here we will learn about the various components of the service operations lifecycle with a perspective of achieving the balance in service operation and explaining the service operation function and practices, describing the service desk function and its role as spoke, illustrating the technical management function and its role in achieving the optimum design of resilient technology infrastructures, distinguishing application management as a service operation function, explain how an application management provides necessary technical know-how for controlling and monitoring applications, demonstrating how IT operations management function controls and monitors the operational day-to-day business. So we'll start with the service operation lifecycle stage, the first topic here. So, okay, it's already given here. So see, as you can see in the figure, okay, of the service operation stage. So there are four stages in service operation of the ITIL, okay, which comes just after the service transition stage. So this stage of the life cycle enhances the business by providing the value using infrastructure, processes and activities. Okay, so value is created in all the stages of the ITIL service, and in all the other stages the business activities and the consumption of the services are not involved. So in this stage the customers utilize the service directly, so high level of support is expected in this stage of ITIL. And the key factor of the service operation stage is the service experience and the consumerization. Okay, so the service operations control the day-to-day services to anticipate any issues, if any, and such issues are handled based on priorities. The feedback generated from this stage is implemented in the next stage of the ITIL, which is the CSI stage, or we also call it the continual service improvement stage. So it's given here. Service operation includes the infrastructure, processes, and day-to-day activities that gives value to the business. By means of technology, value is created in all the stages of the ITIL service life cycle except for the service operation stage. So in this stage, value is not created. The service experience and consumerization is vital in this phase of the life cycle, and the service feedback from this phase of the life cycle enables the continual service improvement, which is the next stage of the ITIL. Next, we talk about the benefits. So some benefits associated with this stage are alignment to standards. So basically the ITIL aligns with the ISO IEC 20000 standard here. Next, we have the reduction in cost. It reduces the cost for the management of the services. Next, we have seamless sourcing partnership. So ITIL is widely utilized for outsourcing, and it provides an enhanced service chain management. Next, we have improved quality. So here the quality of the IT services is improved. Then scalability. So it, this stage accommodates organizations of varied sizes. Okay. Next is return on investment, which is ROI. So this can be achieved since ITIL cut down on costs, and value creation is also attainable. Next, we talk about the objectives of service operation. So let us understand here a few objectives of the service operation stage in the life. So here we have this: to carry out and regulate the processes and the activities, to manage the services and deliver them at a level that is acceptable for the customers and the business users, better end-to-end practices, helps to attain service excellence, responsive, stable services, recognizing value, execution of processes and services, responsive and operational validation. It is accountable for managing the technology adopted to support the service and deliver them. So, since the service operation stage depicts the implementation, we need to consider the cultural change also. Since people do things in their own way, there is always a fear about the new processes. So, talking about the cultural changes, see a small part of this application of the application of service operation is related to the process design also, and the most challenging part is coping up with the cultural change and providing motivation to the staff. Okay, and any changes results in feelings of threatened and loss of controls, and such feelings reflect, you know uh, themselves through feelings of the resistance. Also, in this stage, the focus should be on the reasons why ITIL is required by the organization. Next, we have value to the organization due to service operation. So, this phase of the service life cycle mainly measures and executes the designs, plans, and the optimization. It also provides the value to their customers. So, in short, this stage of ITIL deals with the service delivery to the end users, where actual value can be known. And this is the stage where the plans are executed and measured for its success. Next, we come to scope of service operations. So here we have the following four scopes. Okay, first is the service. So it is a way of delivering value to the customers by facilitating the outcomes the customers seek to achieve without the ownership of any cost or risk. Next, we have people. So they are the essential part of the service operation. It is the people who drive the demand for various services, and human resources only uh, manage technology, processes, and services. Next, we have the service management. So the execution and management of various processes carried out in service operations. And lastly, we have technology. Managing the technology is an integral function. Thus, the scope of the service operation is limited to service, people, service management, and technology. Okay. Next, we have processes. We have these five types of processes under service operation phase, starting with the access management. So it basically deals with granting the rights to use the services to the authorized user. Next is incident management. So this deals with bringing the services back to the original stage. Next, we have event management. It basically deals with monitoring of the CIs and categorize the events to take an appropriate action. Next, we have problem management. It deals with the prevention of the incidents, and request fulfillment or request management. This handles various diversified requests such as creating mail ID, creating user ID, passwords, etc. Next, we have achieving balance in service operation. So, see, the conflicts in the organization are due. So, there should be consistency in the level of services to be delivered. And these are some areas of conflict, like we have business versus technology, we have responsiveness versus stability, then we have cost of service versus the quality of service, and then we have proactive versus reactive. Okay. So next we come to the service operations function and practices. So as you can see in this chart, okay, so so we have four different types of service operation functions. Okay, we have the service desk, we have technical management, we have the IT operations, and then we have the application management. We'll go through them one by one. So starting with the service desk. Okay, so it is the primary point of contact for users where there is a service disruption. Okay, so answering a customer's query or processing a service request is all done here. It helps to improve the interactions with the customer. Okay, so it basically works with the customer end. Next, we have the uh, technical management. So it is the function where which is responsible for planning, implementing, and maintaining a stable technical infrastructure so as to support the business processes. Okay. Next, we have IT operations. So the IT operation management includes IT operation control and facilitates management. It not only maintains the infrastructure, but it also maintains the stability in the ongoing business process. Okay. Next we have the application management. So here this is responsible for managing applications throughout the life cycle. Okay, it takes care of financial management, HR applications, business applications. So here it provides the assistance to IT operations about how best to conduct the current operational management of the applications. Next, we come to the service desk function and its role as spoke. Okay, service desk, it's the single point of contact, spoke. Okay, so see, you know, according to ITIL, the service desk is a single point of contact between the ITSM and the users. So it is accountable for providing an interface for the ITIL processes. It is also liable for handling the request and the incidents. Uh, Communicating with the customer, managing the service request, the incident control, etc. These are some few major, these are few major functions. Okay, it also helps to optimize the business service. It makes use of the ITIL best practices to manage the various software packages apart from ensuring that the IT services are being delivered. Okay, so these are the best practices. Okay, that ensures that data is consistently delivered. So service desk also manages and monitors all the layers which are given here. We have system operations, we have security management, network operations, and database operations. So starting with the system operations, so it includes the change management, performance monitoring, account management. It also supports platforms like Unix, Linux, etc. Next, we have the security management. So it monitors the IPS, that is intrusion prevention system logs, then vulnerability scans, etc. Next, in network operations, okay, so it basically monitors and regulates the traffic, the network changes, incident reports, etc., and it also optimizes the network infrastructure. Lastly, we have the database operations. So it optimizes and maintains several database operations like the log reviews, performance monitoring, etc. So service desk gives customer satisfaction by solving various requests and incidents without any delay, proactive use of the best practices, end user interaction, and reducing the impacts of the service failure on the business. And the few benefits of the service desk function are less turnaround time for the request, best quality, increased customer satisfaction, better accessibility, better management of the infrastructure, and increased productivity. Next, we come to the technical management function. You see, it is a standalone function which provides a technical expertise all the way through the IT service lifecycle. Okay, so here we have some keywords like function. Then we have technical expertise, we have organization. So we'll look through them one by one. So function, so it is a team or a group of people and the tools or other resources for which they use to perform one or more activities. So it means that, we are talking here instead of all those processes which are within the scope of the ITIL about human resources, that is the people. Okay. Next, we have the technical expertise. So see, operational activities are needed to support a service. They are technical in nature and they require specific knowledge. Expert knowledge is needed to keep the service levels as agreed. So, for example, operational activities are needed to support a service. So they are technical in nature and they require specific knowledge, right? Then also we have the database knowledge and network administration. So therefore, knowing the process and managing them is not sufficient. So expert knowledge is also needed to keep the service levels as agreed. Okay. So thus there is a specialist group of people whom we are using in daily business. So if such a function is well structured, we can control the utilization of all the resources. So it means that, for example, you will not have to employ an expensive technical expert. If you need him just for a few hours per week, it would be better to appoint someone for the task only. Okay. Next, we have the organization. So, in an ideal case, there is a separate organizational unit and it contains all the technical expertise which your services need. Okay. So, the big organizations would be able to afford it and they are coming closer to this situation. Technical skills are the criteria by which to organize the employees. So, such organizations will then be divided into specialist teams, for example, database, network, server, desktop, storage, etc. So, in small organizations, there is rarely such a separate organizational unit. Okay, as you can see. So, it is hard to have all the necessary technical knowledge inside one group and also to utilize its resources 100% for the whole time. So the technical management functionalities applied as technical experts are sitting in various organizational units, and also there is a technical manager who is, accountable to organize the availability of the needed expertise. Okay, and to achieve that, the technical manager agrees with the line manager's availability of required experts, provides the policies, and also they set up a process and interfaces between the technical manager function and the other processes. Next, we come to the roles of technical management. So technical management has to make sure that the organization has enough and right resources to make technology and those needed to meet the business objectives. And to ensure this, the technical management has to do the following, has to perform the following roles, right? So one is resource provider is required to support the IT service lifecycle. So in this role, the technical management ensures that the resources are educated and deployed to test, verify, design, maintain, and improve the technology which is needed to deliver and support the IT services. Next, we have the custodian of technical knowledge and expertise used through the IT. So, here the technical management identifies, develops, and improves the knowledge which is needed to design, maintain, test, and improve the IT services. Okay, so here Let me just zoom in. Okay. So, see, technical management actually consists of expert technical knowledge and experience. Okay. Although, there would not be any use of it if it is not deployed efficiently. So, to have an idea of where to use technical management, here we have some examples of the few activities. Okay. Um, Here's some few activity areas of technical management. Okay, like we have knowledge and training, we have skills and resources, then we have activities throughout IT service lifecycle. So going through them one by one. So under knowledge and training, we have designing and delivering of training for service desk and other groups of interest, initiating training programs with the goal to improve existing skills, identification of knowledge needed to operate and manage IT services. Then under skills and resources, we have managing the suppliers, procuring or recruiting resources with needed skills. Then activities throughout the IT service lifecycle. So here we have this, okay, strategy, operation, transition, design, and continual service improvement. So in strategy, it is identification of knowledge and expertise needed to operate and manage IT infrastructure and to deliver IT services, as well as defining the standards used in the design of new architectures and also participation in the definition of technology architectures. So operation basically manages the event tools and participating in incident and problem resolution. Next is transition, testing and validation of new or changed services, active participation in change assessment. Design, participating in the development and design of new services. Lastly, we have continual service improvement. So this is basically looks after the evaluation and highlighting the opportunities for the improvement. Okay. Okay, then